Hi, I'm Lynn Woodland, author of Making Miracles, Create New Realities for Your Life and Our World. Welcome to my video blog, where every month I address a different piece of the journey of self-actualization as it relates to the month we're in. And I always like to fit the message with the season because of the way the cycles of nature just so beautifully portray the whole archetypal dance between light and dark, life and death, yin and yang, and all together create a template for the whole of human experience, with each season lending itself to a different kind of spiritual work and personal growth. And now that we're well into the summer season, it's easy to see the steady subsiding of daylight. Yet while the ebbing of light reminds us that fall isn't far away, the warmth of August is still all summer. And this month really is a time of fulfillment. In many parts of the world, everywhere we look, gardens are producing an abundance of ripening crops and burgeoning flowers. And soon it will all be gone. But now, nature is a feast. With the darkening of fall so close and the heat of summer still so present, more than any other season, this late summer month urges us to appreciate the moment, to be rather than to strive, to live in the fullness of what is and be grateful. I always experience a kind of stillness about this time of year. The expansive growth of spring and summer has spread outward nearly to its limit. And in August, everything just seems to stop for a moment, as energy set all in one direction for nearly half a year approaches a turning point. In the creative process, it's akin to the final completion of a project, right before that empty letdown that precedes the beginning of the next project. By contrast, the stillness of late winter is a time of living empty and pregnant with possibility, right before bursting into new growth in the spring. August, on the other hand, is a time for living full, right before it all ends. Chinese medicine relates this time of year to grounding and digesting. It's not enough to work hard and produce a successful literal or metaphorical crop. For health and well-being, we also need the capacity to be present in the moment, to be in touch with the earth around us, and to be able to take in and digest the fruits of our labor. In other words, we need to be willing to receive. And receiving is a key, yet often overlooked, aspect of personal growth and of empowerment. It's easy to become so fixed on the goal and the whole process of achieving it that we forget to be receptive. We may even unconsciously deflect what we most want without even realizing we're doing it. So when we wind up feeling burned out, that we're doing too much alone, that our efforts are greater than the rewards and we're somehow missing out on the joy of life, it may be that we're forgetting to receive. And it is such an easy thing to forget. Our culture is so goal-oriented and consequently so future-oriented that many of us have this tendency ingrained to some extent. We get to thinking that our happiness depends upon achieving certain external outcomes, like the successful career, or lots of money, or the perfect relationship, or a nice house. And then we postpone our happiness, just doing whatever it takes to achieve our goal, telling ourselves that when we get our reward, then we'll be happy. And while we may succeed in getting the external things we aim for, we may never receive the experience of happiness we were hoping for. By the time we reach one goal, we may have already formulated the next one and skipped right over the joy of having arrived because we're so focused on how far we still have to go. Now, receiving isn't simply about accepting what we want when we want it on our own terms. I've often seen people think they have no problem with receiving. It's just that what they want hasn't shown up yet. And these folks are often holding out for the big prizes they've set their sights on, all the while deflecting dozens of small gifts every day. I tend to think that God will only give us as much good as we can stand to receive. And if we refuse or ignore the small gifts, we won't be burdened with bigger ones. So, if life's bigger gifts are eluding you, ask yourself these questions. When you see a nickel in the street, do you pick it up and feel richer? Or do you pass it by wishing it were a $20 bill? When someone compliments you, do you appreciate it and take it in and say thank you? Or do you look away and make a joke, maybe say something self-deprecating? If someone offers to buy you lunch, do you graciously receive it? Or do you automatically refuse it? Or do you accept it but feel uncomfortably indebted? When you receive presents, do you enjoy them, or are you kind of hard to please with gifts? Or is your mind so busy with thoughts of what you'll have to give back in reciprocation that you don't feel much pleasure in the receiving? When someone offers to help you, do you gratefully receive it, or insist that you can manage alone? In fact, do you assume that you can manage alone more easily than you can with help? And when someone loves you, do you feel blessed by this most precious gift? Or do you tend to retreat in fear? Or do you find the love of only a few specific individuals to be of value, and fail to appreciate the many others who care about you? Now, if you're starting to recognize in yourself some of these signs of poor receiving, you're far from alone. But this is the perfect time of year to begin a new habit. This month, start noticing that there's always something to receive from life. Make a point to recognize all the large and small gifts that come to you and receive them fully. You might even want to keep a written account of them and receive each gift as gratefully and openly as you can, letting go of any of your usual methods of refusing or deflecting God's gifts. The more we cherish what's offered to us, the more we'll find ourselves attracting what we most cherish. And now the next time you walk out of doors in this abundant season, take a moment to just give yourself entirely to the sensations of temperature, of breeze, of smells, of colors. Breathe deeply and let yourself fully experience the pleasure of the moment. If your mind needs something to chew on, just simply repeat over and over to yourself a phrase such as, I'm overflowing with the richness of life. Because making time to pause and appreciate life's simple gifts may very well help you to recognize and open yourself to other quality of life experiences that have been passing you by as of late. So take this month of August to simply enjoy and be grateful. As always, I'd love to hear your comments, and if you write to me at lynn@lynnwoodland.com, I'll be glad to write back. And check out my website. You can find all kinds of free downloads and recorded meditations. There's a place where you can leave a request for free distance healing and lots of other things. And for a deeper dive into this kind of personal and spiritual work, check out my year-long Miracles course. It's a comprehensive coaching program of online materials, live webinar classes, one-to-one coaching, and more. So until next month, namaste.